Best way to start a trip off is a fresh bag of coffee and a pop thing for Jolene and a pup cup for Walt. And we're still in Okeechobee, and I reset the mileage so that's 0 miles. So of course we had to stop by Walmart and get provisions. I don't know if you're like me, but I grew up watching too many Florida orange juice commercials, so I pretty much knew Florida as an orange state, and it used to be, but now as a rule the cattle have taken over everywhere, and Florida is actually a cattle state. You ought to look it up a bit. So we pulled off to this Istapoga Park. You can see a little bit of the boardwalks off over there. Right now I'm making some dinner, hoping this rain will kind of stop a little bit, and then we're gonna hit the trails. Let me show you what's for dinner. So we're eating light tonight, friends. We have half a lettuce. Just kidding. But we really do like this Marie's chunky blue cheese dressing here. Give that a go. We're having some pork chops tonight. Got these things grilling up. A while back we got this little grill pan, and it works perfect if we want to get that grill vibe going inside the camper. Loving the new door logos, guys. Hey Walter. Hey buddy. So this sign is definitely gonna be true. These things are super slippery, and it just rained. Look how beautiful though. I can't believe it's like the perfect time to come, minus the slipperiness. I was just turning the camera on to tell you guys that Jolene almost fell, and then you should see my soles on my shoes. They are nothing. It's a wedge sole. So we are like waddling along right now.
I can't believe that.
Largemouth bass regulations. So here's a boat ramp right here. We're gonna take off on that little wood path over there, and then circle back to here because there's another entrance and a wood path that goes all the way over that way. This is such a cool little pond lake out here. So we're on the other side now. You can see the boat ramp across from us. Walter's having fun investigating and playing with birds. We are getting attacked viciously by mosquitoes. So we're gonna see where I think the end of this dock just kind of eroded away. So I think we're about done with the park, and then we'll get on to where we're gonna go camp and sleep for the night. Maybe it just stops. Maybe it didn't erode away. Maybe it just was built that way.
Do I have a bug in my eye?
So checking out, look at all this Spanish moss on these trees. This is something I've come to really love about the South. I didn't know what to think about it at first, and Jolene wanted to clean it off of every tree, and a million people could never do that. But it's been a really, really beautiful thing about the South. It looks like we gotta do some more of these wooden walkways before we get back to the car. Wonder if that's one big tree. Look at these branches coming out. Look at this Spanish moss. It's just so cool.
So Spanish moss doesn't damage the tree because it just lays on there, and it doesn't take any nutrients from it. It takes nutrients from the sun and, you know, rain. What I don't like about it is that it can cause damage to the trees if it's too heavy, and it can block the sun from the leaves. That's why when I see it, I rip it.
So we were driving along and realized we should probably do some laundry. So that's a laundromat that we like to use. We are currently in Wauchula, Florida. Now we're not out of kind of our comfort zone, the area that we frequent a lot in Florida, but we are making our push northwest. Made our way over to Walmart. We got a couple other people camping with us. We got a big old fifth wheel back here. Got some semis and stuff. Everybody's bedding down for the night. I'm gonna head in the camper, get ready for bed, and then tomorrow morning we're off to a campsite that we've never been to, so we're super jazzed about that. Made our way over to Hardy County Lakes, and got a really good pull through site. I actually backed in, but good little site here. I got some friends that camped here last night that we're gonna go see. They live here in Hardy County, really good friends of ours, and we hang out with them all the time. They have their camper set up. I really want to show you guys. It's an awesome rig, a Jeep and a pull behind camper. So we're gonna go say hi to them and do a little walkthrough of their rig. These are our friends' 5th day outdoors, Hardy County, Florida. Check out the Wrangler, got the kayak on top. I really love his roof rack there. Then here is the camp setup. Here's all of our friends having a good time. Check out this rig. Got a kayak on top of there, another kayak.
All right, this is our humble abode on wheels. If you take a look in there, we've got the bench for the 2 of us.
Yep.
It'll fit 3, and we've got a family of 4, so maybe we'll squeeze the little one on the floor some days.
This kind of slides out.
Yeah, this is a nice opportunity to shelter out of the heat or the rain in this configuration. I've got AC, I've got propane heat, hook up for a TV, although we're opting to try and avoid that. So, you know, all the basic creature comforts. The bench pulls out into a nice full-size bed, and I about max it out on length.
And the back is kind of where the magic happens, right?
Oh, absolutely. Morning, we've got full kitchen set up. So, running water, always helpful.
Yeah, no doubt. So we got a stove.
We got the stove, ample storage, refrigerator. I wasn't planning for a microwave, but
okay.
you know, creature comforts and whatnot. So everything's great. And then as we go around the back, you know, you've got your normal hookups.
Really cool license plate.
But I have the option for a shower as well. So.
Oh, okay. That's this guy.
That's mostly gonna be more for rinse off after being out on the kayaks than anything else.
Let me show you what we do for lunch most days. So basically it starts out with the best ground beef, 93.7. I think there's a little bit higher, but you can rarely find it. So this is basically 4.5 pounds. I cut it into 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just put these in the freezer. I probably have some now. Yeah. Let's see. I got one right now in the freezer, but we needed more because we were almost out. I usually go for this stuff here, real salt. In fact, I have a link to this stuff. I'll put it in the description. I love Redmond's. I got that. I got some of their salt here. So we have that pretty much every day. And then I'll put half a cup of this cottage cheese. And I'll tell you what, friends, that's how I've lost over 50 pounds. Final product, that's mine. That's Jolene's with extra cheese. I forgot to mention we really like green chili on there, so we always put some green chili. This is more of that Redmond company. So this is Redmond Relight. So I drink like 2 of these a day. I think Jolene drinks about 2 of them a day. Salt drink you just mix up. And I forgot to mention, always got to put some cayenne pepper on there as well.
I think I'm done.
You have the 2 you can put over on this one.
Oh, that's true. I was thinking that earlier and I kind of forgot about it.
I'm great at telling other people what to do. When it comes to mine, it's...
Tell me what to do.
Do you have one
left?
Look at you being all clever.
That's what I was thinking of. I kind of forgot for a minute. That's it for now.
5.
Ooh.
And I think that's about it. So if you guys watch back my most recent video, I was with the truck and replacing a part on here, trying my best to clear the check engine light, and it just wouldn't turn off. So I'm over here at the service center at Ford in Wauchula because my buddy sent me over here to see a specific customer service rep, and they told me to try to clear the engine by disconnecting the battery for a little bit and then putting it back on. So I've had it off for about 5 minutes. We're gonna give it a go, see if that clears the engine. the engine light, and then if not, we're gonna probably pull it into one of the bays. Bummer. Really hoping that would clear.
The crankcase filter, right?
Yep.
Is it a 6.7 or a 6.4?
6.7.
So I am looking here, and it is not bringing anything up. Does he have the part in his hand? Would you, by any chance, happen to have the part in hand?
I don't. I just was told I have to replace it, but I haven't taken it off yet.
Okay. If you want to bring it in, you can match it up. He hasn't taken it off yet. Yeah, that's not the best we can do. Yeah, it's not pulling up with the information you gave me, so the next best thing is if you could bring the part in, maybe we can match it up with something we have here in the store.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you so much.
You're very much welcome. Sorry about that.
You're good. Thanks. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Well, let's enjoy that empty while we can. That guy there was able to get the light to come off. So it turns out it's actually the crankcase filter that I'm gonna have to replace. Sounds pretty simple. A couple of bolts off the top end of the motor, and that's a pretty important filter because it protects the engine, and I got to get one of those off Amazon. The guy was telling me that from Mopar it's quite a bit more expensive, so hopefully I can get Amazon. I got an Amazon locker. I got a show coming up that I could deliver some mail to, so we'll get on the internet once we get back and get into that. But I'm guessing next time I start the truck, the engine light's probably going to be back on. I know it's been starting kind of rough, so hopefully this is the fix. I don't know if that other part was bad or not. It's a little too late to return it, but I'll do some Googling and see if I can hook up electrical tester and see if maybe that other part was still good. If it is, I'll kind of have it around as a spare or something like that. So we press on and see if we can get this engine light off for good. Look at what's about to happen on our speedometer. This is like the most exciting thing in my life right now. All 7s, 0.0, waiting for that 0.7. We're almost to our campsite. There it is. That is beautiful. Look at that! All 7s! So obviously I might be a little silly, but that's kind of fun. Things like this you see when you're out on the road. So I guess the next big one is gonna be all 8s. So that's a long ways off, but eventually, Lord willing, in this truck, we'll see all 8s. So Jolene's down at the other end of the dock, and here I am. So we're doing some magnet fishing today. Decided to stop over. I saw this dock, and it's hard for me not to stop. The only thing I've got so far is just this little fish hook. Sometimes that's all we come up with. Sometimes we end up with a tackle box or something like that. So coming up dry here, but I'm gonna cast out a few more times. It's fairly deep actually, probably 6-8 feet deep. You look like you might have found something.
Huh, well I did.
What do you got? A little weight. I got a hook. And I got that little guy. Probably off someone's fishing reel or something like that. Water.
Big on!
Back at camp now. Our friends are gone. We ran into town to get some stuff actually from their house. We use their house as our mail service basically. So thanks guys so much for letting us mail some stuff to your house. Traveling on the road gets tricky at times, but back from doing some of the loops, we kind of drove it here. A lot of stuff we're gonna hike in the morning. Huge park, I can't believe how big it is. So when I found that pier and did a little magnet fishing, it reminded me I want to show you guys some of my gear. So we've had a couple different kits, but I got both of these off Amazon. This one comes in a hard box, this one comes in like a mesh bag. They're about the same, just a little bit different magnets. So this one on the left over here is 1,250 pounds. Then this one is 1,725. So not a huge difference, but I wanted to try the different sizes. Both of them come with this little grappling hook type situation, and then both of them have a locking carabiner on both ends. So you'll see another one here, and pretty long ropes. Like I've never had one of these. I've never been searching in a spot where I didn't have enough rope. Something I was noticing this mesh bag might be the way to go. This got all moldy since the last time I used it, and then in here it's starting to rust a bit, so I put it away wet, obviously, and that's something I need to think about, just putting it away dry. Right now this thing's soaked, so kind of airing it out. You can see how this is kind of sticking there. We used to have some aluminum carabiners. I had a big aluminum carabiner locking just like this that I had there, so that way when you're tossing it out it doesn't get stuck, because that actually kind of messes with when you're pulling it back in. The magnet's always stuck to the carabiner, but I did replace that on my old set. But the problem is, and the reason why I ended up putting that away wet last time, is because we had 2 of these in the past. I think I had them out on a picnic table at a campsite or something like that, and in the morning they were either gone, stolen, or I forgot about them and this drove off. So I make sure and just put these away right away and put them in the back seat of the truck. But at any rate, these are what I have. I have links to both of them. We've been using them for a couple months now and they're fantastic. You can buy the one that has the stronger magnet and maybe just don't put it in this plastic box. Use the plastic box for something else. I do like the mesh bag. The box is cool and it looks rugged, but for it to dry out, there's something about that mesh bag. So back inside, and some of the things we love about being plugged in, we're charging the power station, warming up some milk, and over here we got some lattes going, guys. I picked this up for 12 bucks at a Goodwill, and it makes some pretty good coffees. So as you can see, we got a pretty good evening going here. We're just gonna sip some coffee, kind of relax, watch some TV, and then call it a night. So yesterday we took it pretty easy. We just basically did some work and relaxed and trying to get over this cold that I have going on. Today we're back on the road, so we're leaving the Wauchula area, Hardy County, and we're going north about 4.5 hours. So we got a ways to go. Hoping to meet up with some friends. You can hear that beeping. My trailer brake wiring needs to be looked at, so it's beeping all the time at me. Hoping to meet up with some friends, and then we're going up to the Suwannee County Fair. So you can see that traffic up on my left. That's what we're getting into. This is why I try to avoid the cities like the plague, but sometimes you just can't. So we'll see how long of a delay this ends up being. Stopped off at a little rest stop here. Gonna make some lunch, kind of stretch our legs a little bit. Got Walter down here. He's gonna take a potty. And I'm gonna see if I can't mess with those trailer brakes a little bit. Probably just have a loose wire, because it's been there a while, and I think what happens is it stops beeping by the time I stop. So then I kind of forget about the problem altogether, and then I never end up addressing it. Dude, good to see you, brother.
Yeah, you too.
This thing's looking sweet.
It's
man.
huge.
That's awesome. So friends, that guy there is Bobby Crownover. I have not known anybody besides a family member longer in my entire life. We actually met in preschool and we have kept up the entire time. Just an awesome dude out here in Florida, from Colorado, just like me, having a good time with his family. So it was amazing to see him and his wife and their kids and his brother. Really fun to see everybody there. I got to catch up, but they have to get to their campground before it closes at 9. So they are on the move down to Tampa. We're in Gainesville, Florida right now. So met up at the Petco in Gainesville because somebody, not gonna mention who, Walter, needed some dog food. So we met up here, and now we are off to a Chinese buffet, because that is Jolene's favorite thing pretty much on earth, besides me of course, and besides Walter. That would be a Chinese buffet. So this is round one, guys, and I did get some hot tea. I always try to get a little bit of hot tea. Usually it's green tea, sometimes it's oolong. We'll see how many rounds I go back for. There's Jolene's score. A little bit more fried stuff than I got. I'm not gonna lie about that.
More.
Sweet and sour, right?
Alright, so I got a crab, actually deep fried, but got some crawfish, some chicken there, sweet and sour, but I just got one piece, honey chicken, beef and broccoli, another little shrimp, some of the egg drop soup. I just always have to get a little bit. So here's round 3, guys. Got some more sushi, got some shrimp, got some coconut shrimp, more shrimp, beef and broccoli, and a little bit more honey chicken. And when in Rome, do as the Romans do. I guess I'm having some dessert tonight. So the buffet was a success. No doggy bags for Walter. How was your meal?
Amazing. One of the better Chinese buffets that we go to.
Yeah, it was definitely a good one. So now we're off to either Walmart or Cracker Barrel or a rest stop. We kind of don't know where we're staying tonight. Our show starts tomorrow, so we'll have camping, expensive camping for about 10 days. Starting tomorrow night, but today we're off grid, so we're gonna go find a spot to bed down for the night. So tonight it's gonna be a rest stop, guys. We found a spot here next to all the big rigs, and I got the camper set up on some jacks, so it's nice and level. We actually sleep pretty good at rest stops just because we know that we're allowed to be there all night long, so we can be here and it's not gonna bug anybody. Sometimes at Walmart or Cracker Barrel you get kicked out. Made it over to Suwannee County Fair. So here's where we're gonna be camping for the next week, about a week and a half. Spin around, show you guys some more. So we've never been here before, but you got a bunch of buildings over there we'll be checking out. We got a booth setting up over there by those tents. You can see some restrooms over here, a big old arena. And as I spin you around, you'll start seeing some more RVs, all kinds of horse trailers, big rigs. Jolene's getting in, we're gonna go set up our booth. So here's our booth, we sell hats. You see a neighbor, spin around, here's the truck. Got all loaded in, everything's ready. Right in front of a magic theater. And then there's that arena, so our camping is pretty much right back there. Got some more vendors set up in the background over here. You can see the Ferris wheel. It's gonna be a pretty good time. So next up today, I'm going to be changing out the crankcase filter on this 2021 Ram 3500. Has a 6.7 turbo diesel in here. I haven't actually done this project, but I'm a YouTube expert now after watching a couple of videos. So guys, we're going to get right into it. The only thing I had to buy special was an 8mm deep well socket. I probably have one at home, but I don't have it on the rig. So I grabbed a whole set of metric and SAE deep wells just because I like to have everything. Guys, I got this from Doc's Diesel. I'll have a link to it in the description. Pretty basic little job here. What do you say we get right into it? So I know we're taking off these screws here, taking off this guy, taking off that guy, and then it's going to expose a couple around here. Got to pull this and unscrew the cap here, pull the dipstick, and just get after it. We'll set this guy down there with a couple screws. I'll grab this cap before I lose it, and dipstick. So far all these screws are the same length, so I don't have to worry about which goes where. You can see this wire going around the back end. It just has these little clips that slide over the stud, the exposed stud. So those just kind of come off pretty easy there. So I kind of think these back two are going to be the hardest. They're not quite bolts like up front here. You'll see that one is more like a bolt. This is like a stud. It has the top. That's kind of where these plastic deals there kind of slide on there. They push on. So that stud gives it a spot to clamp these wires on nicely. I got the back two. You have to use the ratchet and it barely fits under there. And actually my ratchet is kind of broke. So I almost bought one when I was at Harbor Freight and I forgot. These next 4 or 6 ought to be pretty easy because I can actually just reach them with my impact. So I got this one out. It's kind of hard. You can see a bit of filter in between there in that crack. Definitely really heavy, quite a bit heavier than the other one, so you can tell it's full of oil. Definitely oil all over, but I don't think you're gonna learn a whole lot without cracking this thing open, which I'm not gonna do. But at any rate, we'll go under the hood and I'll show you what we got going. So I did get all these bolts back on. These back 2 were just the hardest because my ratchet is broken. But these guys, they're just hand tightened. I couldn't find a torque spec on those. And now all I have left is to put this shield back on. So there's not a lot I can show you guys. It's kind of dark and stuff. I like to say that basically if you know how to twist a wrench, you can do about anything. And all I mean by that is if you're mechanically inclined, if you're mechanically inclined, you can twist a wrench. I think you'll have no troubles doing this. I've done all kinds of things on all kinds of cars, and this honestly just wasn't that bad. So it's like every 65.5 thousand up to 75. And if you're pulling a lot and doing heavy loads, it's supposed to be more. So don't take that from me, just check your own specs. There it is. So again, that one is a little tricky to show you every little detail. Probably need to set up better lights and cameras and stuff, but not a bad little go of it. So right now I'm going to try to reset the code, because what happens is it's not like an actual code. It just says service engine soon. So I was wondering for a while if that was because I needed to do an oil change soon, but it turns out because I went to that dealer, it's this situation here. So on a video I was watching, it says turn the ignition switch to the on position and do not start the engine. So I'm not going to push the brake. And then it says press and release the brake pedal 2 times twice. Not 2 times twice, just 2 times. Press and release, press and release. Now it says fully depress the accelerated pedal slowly 2 times within 10 seconds. 1, 2, turn the thing to off. Hopefully that's it, guys. These new trucks are so weird. Alright, I don't see anything. Well, perform service. Alright, that's what we don't want to see, so I'm going to try that again. Okay, I did that system again. Let's see if it worked this time. That's it, man. We got it to clear. Sweet. Jump out here, make sure nothing's spraying out oil all over. Nothing crazy going on. Alrighty guys, I think we got her. Everything plugged back in the way it should be. Well, by the end of this, you guys are going to be familiar with my truck slide system. Keep getting in here after more tools. Here's all my jacks. I swear by these things. I might have to put one of those in the link in the description for you guys, because I have 2. I think 2 has came in so handy. For me, I can't wait to get home and get this thing off the rig. I don't need that, but I don't want to get rid of it either, because you never know. But I'll tell you what, I am a happy guy. Yeah, and my happiness is because I finally cleared the codes on this pickup. And don't forget, in a future video, we're going to be doing the differential fluid on this truck. I'm going to be doing a full oil change. That's a oil filter and then 2 fuel filters. I got a cabin filter for the air, and then I got an actual air filter coming. We're also doing the transmission fluid and the transmission filter, so this stuff all needs done on the truck. I want to make sure we're getting off on the right start, so we're getting new tires on this pickup pretty soon, so a lot of stuff, a lot of money going into it. So I'll tell you, when you guys subscribe and hang back, click those links and stuff, really helps keep everything going on the channel here. But I am just jazzed to be done with that section right there.
I'm so excited to get off campus.
Got Walter loaded up, he's been claustrophobic, and we're all excited to get out of here. We've been here at the county fair for a couple days now since we talked to you guys. We're gonna get off and go pick some strawberries at a u-pic place and then hike some trails. Walter's getting spoiled with his little pup cup. So a really fun stop off over here. We are at the Suwannee Springs Bridge, covering the Suwannee River. You can see it down behind me. Let me spin this around and show you guys how crazy this bridge is. What do you think of this place, man?
It's really cool. I like it a lot.
Got some people coming. Check out all this graffiti. So they do what people do on a lot of other bridges, and they leave these locks. You put your name on them or whatever. I don't know. Couples do that and stuff. Really cool river. We might go kayaking actually down there, so we'll check into that. But just everybody has left their mark on this bridge for sure. Stuff like this is what keeps us on the road. It's just so cool to stumble across something like this. We're kind of Googling places to get out and hike and just kind of goof around, and you know, obviously it's a lot of graffiti and a lot of trash, but old bridge that's no longer in use, and it's kind of fun. I kind of like it. So somewhere down here, we're gonna go hiking. You can kind of see a trail off there. Some natural springs. You can smell the sulfur if you were here. We're gonna go check that out a little bit. It looks like it's at least 12 foot deep right there. That is really something.
It's cold.
Cold?
Mm-hmm.
Look at how much water is flowing out of that spring. That doesn't seem like that when you're on the other side. But just through there, it just seems so calm. It's just pooling up and out of there. Such crazy flow through there. So we're checking this out, and it sounds like a place where people used to come from all over Florida and Georgia. A bit of thought that you could be healed of cancer and different kind of diseases and ailments. So different people have came here over the ages to get healed up, and this is stuff that we see even in biblical times, and there's some parables in the Bible about it, where there's like the guy hanging out by the pool of Bethsaida and Jesus interacts with him. There's a shot of that clear water just through there. It's so clear. I really just can't get over the fact that it's rushing through there so much.
Look at the difference between the spring water and the river water. Clear and the dirty.
Alright guys, so we made our way over to a little strawberry u-pic situation. So we are out here scoping out our little patch that we want to dig through. So that lady was right, there are just too many. I mean, each one of these I feel like we could max out on.
You don't want to be gathered, you want to be eaten.
Check out these guys right here. Just a beautiful looking couple of strawberries right there.
How do you choose a perfect strawberry?
So $2.50 a pound. I don't know what that's gonna be like, but that seems like a pretty good deal if you're asking me. And there are just unlimited out here. This is a really fun time. Well, there it is, guys. We're all loaded up and ready to get out of this county fair. It's always fun to be here and to get here, but I'll tell you what, there's nothing quite like leaving, so we are excited to get on the road. We're gonna get into all the way, hopefully, at least Louisiana, if not Texas today. We made it to Mississippi, so we've been putting down the miles. Check it out, we got a little seafood restaurant here. We were researching a bunch of places. It is really challenging sometimes when you're on the road to find a place, even for a rig like this. So guys, we have a little parking lot here in front of this motel, and I have been craving some crawfish. So we're going in there and we're gonna get some seafood and definitely some crawfish. All right, check it out, guys. So we got the crawfish, little sausage corn, got some garlic fries that are covered in some crab sauce, then corn crab bisque with some bread on the side. Well guys, I'm not so big on talking a whole lot in the restaurant just because everyone's there kind of having their own time, but I'll tell you, that was really fun. So we got 3 pounds of crawfish. We got some of this corn crab bisque soup. We didn't realize that's also what they put on the fries, so we kind of got it twice. But at any rate, we're here in Mississippi and we're gonna keep going down the road and see what we keep finding. So we made our way over to Louisiana. You are not gonna believe where we're at. And yes, this is the exact same day as when you just saw me. We are at another crawfish place. Now guys, it's not too often I get a chance to do this. I've never done 2 different crawfish places in one day, but that's what we're doing today. I'm hoping these are a little bit bigger. The last place was seasoned very well. Not the best I've ever had. The best I've ever had was Cameron, Louisiana in like 07. They were plenty seasoned, but they had a little bit of like brown sugar or cinnamon in there. I don't know. I gotta go back there one of these days. Let's go in. I'm gonna show you this place as well. Let's check it out. Really cool vibe going on in here for sure. Well, I'll tell you what guys, I did a little research and that place is a good one. If you're coming through Louisiana, make sure and check that out. The interstate is just up there. Wasn't bad at all. Parking for the RV, so that's always a plus. So Jolene had some, not a lot. I've almost single-handedly had about 6 pounds of crawfish tonight. But I'll tell you what guys, I burn more calories working through them than I do consuming them. So by the time I get done with 3 pounds, I'm already ready for more. I love crawfish. These ones were spectacular. They're better than the first place. They're just bigger. Seasoning was honestly about the same, but just because it's hard to fiddle with and everything, I like the little bit bigger ones. But I'll tell you what guys, I think that's enough to pack into one video. We're gonna be into Texas before you know it, so stay tuned for the next video. That way you can see some of Texas. Sure hope you guys are enjoying this stuff as much as we are making it. Till the next video, God bless, get up and go on.